What's going on, Stan fans and George Lucas fans? The 90s toy guys here. I'm Jack.
And I'm David.
And if you guys follow our Instagram, the 90s toy guys, you've seen a lot of Star Wars figures that we never post on here.
So many.
But we decided to show you guys more of that. We've got a huge collection. Don't worry, we're still going to carry on with the Marvel and all the others. But we're going to start showing you more Star Wars. So we decided to start with the 1995 first releases. These were the first 9 figures released.
Mm-hmm. They were the Red Card series, Hasbro, Kenner, and they're just really all the perfect detail you want with figures. Simple, great joints, they look awesome, paint jobs, they last for decades.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about the Power of the Force figures. They're sturdy figures. I like the simple articulation. I don't like a bunch of thin, weak joints, stuff like that. They're sturdy, hardy figures, and we had tons of them as kids.
Yeah.
So they're definitely probably our biggest original collection. So we're excited to show you guys more of them. So starting off, we've got ObiWan Kenobi,
otherwise known as Ben Kenobi.
I love that old Ben figure. He's kind of in a fighting stance, as you can see. I'm not huge on his stance, actually. I wish his arms were straight down.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a little hard to stand.
His his cloak comes off also. It's like a second piece. And I like how he comes with the blue lightsaber, and him and Luke's lightsabers are both different hilts. You could tell the difference.
One thing I like about too with the lightsabers is they come stuck together. It's one piece. Instead of having the peg like the later figures in the 2000s, where it would come apart as soon as you put it in the toy box and you lose it.
Or break easy.
But yeah, so I really like the way they did the lightsabers. And back then, you didn't have tons of Jedis like you do nowadays. So you just kind of had Luke and Obi-Wan. So gotta love those classic figures. So speaking of Luke, here's Luke Skywalker in his Tatooine garb.
And he's really cool. That's the perfect Luke almost. Well, I actually like the black cloak Luke a little bit better, but this is the original Luke Skywalker, and I guess they said something like people kind of make fun of how buff he looks or something.
Yeah, they always called him Buff Luke, but honestly, I like his size and I like his build that they gave him. Obviously Mark Hamill is a lot scrawnier than that in the movie. But he stands well, he's simple,
Yeah.
He looks good, and it's your classic Luke Skywalker.
Definitely. Now moving on, we have Darth Vader up here on the right.
Yeah, I love that figure. As you can see, he's a little taller than the others, which I like that. So even though they're simple, they do really well with the height differences between the figures. He looks really good. He's got the black with the red lightsaber, really cool.
Yeah, that back then it was like the only other color lightsaber. And his helmet does not come off. Later on, they made ones where his helmet removes. And his cape is kind of hard.
Yeah, his cape's probably my only gripe about it too. It kind of gets in the way, but I still think it's my favorite Darth Vader to date.
Definitely. And they made cloth capes later on too. It's like a 2000 thing.
And then Chewbacca down there. Again, he's a little taller of a figure.
Yeah, he comes with the cool crossbow and another like machine gun looking thing.
Yeah, he's a cool looking figure. His face is a little off, but he's old school, and gotta love him.
Stands well too.
So up next is Han Solo. This is actually my favorite Han Solo as well. He's got the classic vest with the red and blue striped pants.
Yeah, and of course comes with that classic Han Solo pistol. Kind of bad leg footing, but he's in that like shooter pose.
Yeah, definitely love that figure. The Carbonite one that came out later was good too, but that's probably the best one just because it's the original Han Solo.
I like that his jacket is like painted on, it doesn't come off.
Yeah, definitely. And then up next we've got the Stormtrooper.
And that one comes with a blaster and then also a random big gun, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of an oversized gun. Again, these figures used to come with way too many guns.
In case you lose him.
Yeah, which everyone did. But, you know, he looks good. He stands at a little bit of a tilt, which I'm not huge on. He's kind of difficult to stand upright. But, you know, we've got 50 of them, you know, so.
And just a classic army build. You can buy a ton of them for dirt cheap online.
Exactly. So there's the Stormtrooper.
And then moving on down on the left and the bottom, we have R2-D2.
Yeah, I love that R2. He's got the classic chrome head, and it's got the blue little translucent spot on the top, so his eyes kind of glow up when there's a light above him.
And his like peg leg in the middle, it can retract, and
he's got a lot of good stances and poses.
Yeah. And I think his head clicks if you spin it a bunch.
But yeah, you know, he's probably, again, my favorite R2-D2 still to date. He's just simple, he looks great, and he's really all you need in the figure.
Definitely.
And then we've got Princess Leia, the classic cinnamon roll head. She came with actually 2 guns.
Yeah.
One of them doesn't fit in her hand, unfortunately. So we just got her up there with 1. Of course, she doesn't need 2 pistols.
Yeah. And her coat or her cape comes off, and so does that little skirt on her legs. They fall off pretty easy, kind of hard to stay on there.
Yeah, and she's a little hard to stand as well.
Yeah, thin legs.
You know, so love the Princess Leia. You know, she's the OG, you know, classic Princess Leia that we had when we were kids. But overall, they've probably made better ones since.
Could have came with the cloth cape again, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
One of those things.
And then last but not least, we've got C-3PO, all gold. That's before they added the silver leg to him. And that's really the way I like him too.
Me too. That's how I always remembered him.
But yeah, he looks great. He's very simple, again, like the others. You know, very shiny, very metallic looking.
Basic droid body.
And yeah, so there's C-3PO. I think he looks great.
Yeah, overall, it's a great series. You got a bunch of all the great heroes from Star Wars in there. All the most classic characters. The only one, Boba Fett, would really be like...
Yeah, I would say maybe Yoda and Boba Fett would be cool to have in there.
They made them later on, obviously.
But yeah, we've got all those guys, and we're gonna show you a lot more Star Wars ahead of time. And like I said, we got tons of Marvel coming still, tons of Toy Biz, all sorts of stuff. So
even Dragon Ball Z, DC. We're about to do the villain lineup for the DC Kenners.
DC villains, yeah, that's gonna be a cool one. So stay tuned, and as always, may the guys be with you.